We're live. I'm Diane Demetre. This is my first live ever, so hopefully I'm live at the moment. So if you're, there we go. Now I'm live. I've been talking to a screen, I think. I'm Diane Demetre. I'm going live for the first time tonight, and this is Power Chat. So if you're out there, drop a comment in there so I know that you're there, and I'm actually am live, which would be great. So I'll just do a little chat firstly and wait for people to come in so I know you're there. So here we go. Let's give it a rock and roll for the first live ever for Power Chat. I'm Diane Demetre. I'm a speaker, an author, and an entrepreneur, and I've been teaching and leading teams of people now for well over 40 years, probably longer if I go back to my ballet days when I was teaching as a teenager. But nevertheless, welcome to Power Chat. If you're out there, it's great to have you. Drop some comments. Oh, Amber's here. Yay, that's great. That means I'm actually being seen in the virtual landscape. That's terrific. So with Power Chat, and I've got Razwana, thank you, all the way from the UK. Thanks for joining me, Razwana. That's really appreciated. So here, I'll just give you a little insight firstly. So in Power Chat, I'm going to be sharing some personal insights and some success strategies that I've been using for many, many years in my businesses and in my life. And each week I'm going to cover a different topic on either health or wealth or happiness or lifestyle or a whole range of things that hopefully you'll be able to consider. You don't have to believe me. Your life is your life. I'm just sharing with you what I've discovered and what's worked for me. And in doing so, I hope if nothing else, it triggers you to maybe think a little differently, look at life a little differently, and most of all, find joy and success. That's what this is about, so that you can live a better life. As I say on my Facebook page, live a life that matters. Live a life that you don't want to leave. We don't want to leave. We want to stay here and make it even better. So during my Power Chat, please feel free to drop a comment in so I can answer any questions you may have on the topic. And if I get to that wonderful, enviable stage of just not having a time to get to them all, I will then answer them on my Facebook page during the week in the various posts. So I promise I'll get to them before the next Power Chat, which is next Wednesday. Every Wednesday at this time, or I'm not sure if it's Wednesday in your part of the world, but at this time, 7 days from now, I'll be doing this all again and covering a different topic. So off we go. Let's begin, will we? Tonight, or today, it's actually nighttime here in Australia and it's winter, as you can sort of see by this. So I'm down on the beautiful Gold Coast. Stunning place. Love it to death. Marvellous. Lovely energy here. Really special energy. A bit like Maui, but just a little different. So anyway, let's start. So today I'm going to be speaking about decisions design our destiny. And I think we all intrinsically know that, but we don't pay attention to it enough on a moment by moment basis because we're so busy. We're so busy. Go, 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 go. And we forget that every moment we are actually making decisions. And if we're not making a decision to do something or go somewhere or to make a decision that's obvious, we are making unconscious decisions that are going on all the time. And even the moment when we don't make a decision because we don't know what to do, let's say, we're still making a decision. And this is what we lose sight of. We become very unconscious in our lives. And what happens is that over time, we just start to do things by rote. And that's when you'll get that awful feeling of boredom and apathy will set in because you're making decisions unconsciously, you're doing the same old, and you're not shaking it up enough. And we've got to become more conscious of the decisions we make. And that means, in fact, stopping for just those little moments throughout the day, and before we make a decision or do the same old thing or think the same old thoughts, stop, pull ourselves up and go, wait a minute, what am I about to do or say or think or feel? Because decisions cross every gamut of our life and they impact every aspect of our well-being. And so it doesn't just happen. We are the cause and the effect in our life, and every decision designs our destiny. And that's what I wanted to actually go into a little bit more depth about tonight. So consider, if you will, let's make it really simple, shall we? Let's look at decisions under two headings, just two. And let's look at all the decisions in one bucket and call them the empowering decisions, or the empowering bucket. Okay, so they're all the decisions that you will make that actually empower you, that generate feelings of optimism and hope and love and compassion and kindness. They are the decisions that will bring about that energetic resonance of your being. So consider today, what were the decisions that you made that had that energetic resonance, that actually made you feel those feelings, all that energy, optimism, hope, passion, kindness, compassion, a great faith in the future? That's an empowering decision. So if you spent a moment and just sort of jotted them down, or even thought about it, or when you get off here, don't just rush off and do something else, something mindless. Sit down and think about, what were all the decisions I made today that empowered me, that made me feel that my life does matter, that I am living a life that matters? What were those decisions? Now, there's another bucket of decisions, and let's call them the disempowering bucket. Now, they are the decisions that actually leave you with a feeling of apathy, of confusion, of fear, of stress, of anxiety, of anger, of frustration, of sadness, of all of these, what I class as negative emotions. Now, I'm not labeling them. I'm just making them a little bit easier for you to understand, so that we're all talking the same language, okay? So it's not that they're bad emotions. They're all based in fear. So the energy that you resonate to when you are experiencing emotions or fear-based emotions is a lower, denser energy. Okay, so if you're making decisions in that energy, at that level of energy, you're probably not going to make really healthy, healthful, or helpful decisions in your life. And a lot of people who are caught in stress and anxiety will make decisions in that energy. And then they will bemoan the fact that afterwards, oh, that was the wrong decision. But you see, where we live energetically every moment actually impacts the decisions we make. And that's part of why decisions design our destiny, because our energy is designing our destiny every day. We are energetic beings. So if you're living in the bucket that is about disempowering and about fear-based and about emotions that bring your vibrationary level down, more than likely you're not going to make better decisions in your life. You're going to make decisions that won't necessarily fulfill your life, fulfill your soul, or bring success to you. However, if you are making decisions from the empowering bucket, from those feelings of emotion and hope and high energy, high expectation, optimism, more than likely you'll make some pretty solid decisions for success and fulfillment. And so that's where decisions design our destiny, because they're not just nebulous. They don't just sort of happen. They are there, and there's an energy that propels them all the time. And so if we really want to come back, we need to look at what's that energy we are in when we make our decisions. What is that state of being? Is our state of being empowered or disempowered? So consider today, what decisions did you make in a disempowered state? Because you're probably not that happy with them, and they may not have given you the results you want. And so what we do then is we either A, blame ourselves, oh, I made the wrong decision, or we look outside of ourselves and we blame our circumstance and our conditions around us. Right. I've got Amber, who's just said, if you know the decision right, but it feels odd, should you wait till it feels right? Okay, so now we're getting into a deeper level of decision making, and that's when you start to actually make decisions intuitively. So, any decision we make intuitively is a very valid decision. And so, we must also, as part of this, and we'll do more of this in Power Chat as we go through, is look at how do you connect with your intuition, that gut decision, that gut instinct. It might be here, or it might be the voice in your head, or however you describe intuition, that will never lead you astray. And then you'll go, oh, I've listened to my intuition, it's led me astray. Yeah, it probably wasn't your intuition. Okay, and that's the really fine definition and distinction we have to make, is what's going on in our gut, in our intuition, and then learning how to tap into that, to listen to it, and to actually act on it. So that's why you might get a discrepancy, Amber, that the decision is right, but it feels odd. Should you wait? Can I also say that one of the most important things that we've forgotten in our lives, and we actually don't hear about it much anymore, is common sense. Oh, the world could do with a bit at the moment. Common sense. So if you have a decision that you need to make and you are finding it difficult to know whether it's empowering or disempowering, don't rush into it. Okay, never make a decision on the fly. Take a moment. That doesn't mean procrastinate and avoid the decision, because if you're doing that, you've already made a decision to avoid the decision-making process. So don't rush into a decision. Allow yourself to sit with it. Allow yourself to implement some common sense. Allow yourself to feel the empowering energy and ask yourself, what if? Does this decision empower me? Is this going to empower me to be able to make a better life for myself and to also implement transformational change in my life so that I can be more of who I am, so that I can live more, live better, and that I can contribute more and I can serve better? So if you stop and don't rush into a decision, you have time to ask yourselves those things. And at the same time, be aware that when you're making decisions, that we've been so conditioned to think that if we make the wrong decision, we've made a mistake. And you know what? There aren't mistakes. There are just circumstances or results that we can go back and change. And sometimes you might say, well, I made that. I don't know if I can go back and change that. I mean, I have that. My example is I was offered on 3 separate occasions in my life to go to America to extend my entertainment career there. And on each of those occasions, I sat with it, I looked at it, and it was something that I wanted to do and had always wanted to do, but I never chose that decision. And I had various reasons as to why I didn't at the time, and they were very valid, and they were based on empowering not just myself, but also my mother, who was ailing at the time. And I felt that I couldn't leave her, although she never asked me to stay. But within me, it was like she'd had my back for years and years and years, and it was time for me to be able to have her back. She was ailing. So I didn't go. And you know what? There's a part of all of us, which I call the ego, which wants to say, oh, you've missed the boat on that one, haven't you? You should have gone. You shoulda, shoulda, shoulda. And that's that old disempowering belief of, oh, the grass is always greener over there. I should have gone over there. But you know what? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. We really don't know. But what we do know is where we are in the present moment, and that we have an opportunity here to make the very best of it, to be more than who we were. So we never know. And if we always look to what could have been or what's over there, it's a very debilitating quality or a debilitating exercise to do that. It slows the momentum of where we are now. So understand that decisions are a powerhouse of energy. Think of decisions as a powerhouse of energy, that it primes us, it prepares us, and it propels us into a fabulous future. So think of decisions like that, powerhouse of energy that primes and prepares and propels us into the future. Oh, Amber said she's had this happen to her, the same sort of thing about, not making the decisions at that time, and then you feel, what's happened? I should have made that decision. So, okay, Amber, so how do you move forward from these past decisions? The key is that the only moment that we can take action in is the present moment. And we all know that. That's not new. See, I'm not saying anything new. I just say it in a different way, possibly. And that's one of the toughies that we have in life, is not to keep looking back over our shoulder and say, oh, I wonder if I did something wrong. You see, even that thought is disempowering. And the moment we look behind us, the moment we have regret, is the moment we stop the momentum in the present moment to bring in a fabulous future. And whenever we feel ourselves doing that, now that's a decision. That's a decision to look back. It's subtle, but it's still a decision. And the moment we do that and we look back and we wonder, what if, we're caught. And we stop the momentum of what we want happening in our future. There's that old saying, it's no point crying over spilt milk. And it's true, but gee, sometimes it's hard. I know, you look down and you go, God, look at all that milk that's spilt there. I wish. But as soon as we look back, we're caught. We can't move forward and we'll never get momentum. So all we can do is make decisions in the present moment. Razwan has just said, living in the moment, being grounded and present in a new habit we need to create. It gets easier as we practice it. Absolutely, Raz, absolutely. Always gets easier the more practice. So it is a matter of just repetition, repetition, repetition. And because what we're doing is we're also triggering our neural pathways, because they're all sort of ground in from all those habits. It's like somebody's been in there hoeing out little pathways all these years. And so it takes a little while for us to go, you know what, brain, we're on a new pathway here. We're going to make more empowering decisions. We're going to keep our focus forward. I'm going to talk about focus next week, actually. We're going to future pace. We're going to stay in the present, and we're not looking back, because the past will only shackle us with disempowering decisions of what if. So remember, decisions are a powerhouse of energy. Now also, never leave the place of making a decision without taking some action. So people say, I made the decision, but nothing happened. That's because you didn't do anything at the time. You have to make a decision, and whilst you're there, right there, what is the action you're going to take in order to load in that decision? You need to load it into your state of being. You need to energize it and empower it and engage it with your state of being all the time. So consider that the next decision you make, that there has to be some action behind it. That then makes it real. That then actually will bring it into reality, because it's all energy. It's all energy coming into reality. So you can always make a new decision. Always make a new decision. We can do that every moment. And most of the day we are making new decisions here, new decisions there, or old decisions, or whatever it happens to be. The key here is to become more conscious of our decision making. So consider when you're making decisions. It's, I used to do this as a fun exercise all the time in developing my intuition and decision making. Whenever I was driving, I would ask, which way am I going to go to the supermarket today? And that might seem really strange, but it works, because what I was doing is I was preparing myself, I was priming myself, and I was propelling myself forward in my more conscious decision-making skills. So that over time, as Raz mentioned, over time, the more conscious you become of making decisions and then practicing conscious decision-making, you start to automatically become more conscious when you make decisions. So your decisions by default are more conscious. And that's what we're all after, not knee-jerk decisions. We're after more conscious, intuitive decision-making skills so that we can move forward with more elegance and grace and less effort, less hard work. Remember, life is supposed to be joyous. We are here to have a rich and, dare I say it, easy time. But all of our beliefs and our conditioning, we make it hard. So consider, if you will, tomorrow. I'll leave you with 3 things, okay? 3 things. Be decisive. Don't be frightened of making decisions. Be decisive. Make them. Don't fear decisions. Embrace them. See them as a big hug, because you don't want to fall into procrastination and avoidance. So first one, be decisive. The second one is all decisions are designing your destiny. Every one of them, no matter how small it may be, it's designing your destiny. The decision you make on how you feel when you go to buy the groceries. The decision on how you're going to experience the traffic jam. Everything is a decision. It doesn't just happen. Somebody doesn't come along and pour our emotions and our feelings and our experiences on top of us. We decide how we're going to respond and everything. So remember that all your decisions, no matter how small, are designing and impacting your destiny. And the third point is, when you are making decisions, choose the empowering ones. Stop and consider, is this empowering for me? If I make this decision this way, is this going to empower me? Because if it does, choose for it. Go for those empowering decisions. You don't have to do the disempowering ones. Choose the big ones. And even if you're scared and you go, go ahead, as they say. Feel the fear and do it anyway. But I go, disregard the fear and go beyond it. Just move beyond it. Take a deep breath, go on. And we're going to talk about how you can do that with a shift of perspective as we go through our power chats a little bit later on. So unless thanks Amber. I'm pleased that you thought that was great advice. That's terrific. Excellent. Anybody else? I just got to scroll down here in case I've missed someone. When's your next live? Yes, next Wednesday at this time. This is when it's all happening. Each week I'm going to be doing these. I'm really looking forward to them. So what I'd love you to do is, firstly, let me say thank you for being with me tonight. It's really great to be able to sit here and have a chat, even if we're not chatting backwards and forwards. We sort of are. And I can feel your energy with me, and that's really important. And I really do appreciate you being here. It's been really terrific that you're here. Please like and share, comment on the lives, on the power chats, share them with your friends, let your friends know about power chat happening every Wednesday night. And basically that's it. Thank you. I wish you lots of love, and I hope that you make some fabulously empowering decisions this week, and jump onto the Facebook page and let me know how they turn out for you. And I will see you next Wednesday here. Be decisive and make empowering decisions, and know that they're designing a fabulous destiny for you, and live a life that matters, because that's the only way to do it, folks. It's the only way. Lots of love. Mwah. See you next time. Ciao.